Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chanel Berry, and here we have
Mr. Toby Obi.
Sir Toby Obi. Are you the owner of this place?
Yes. How many times do you eat in a day?
3 times, likely.
Exactly. So every human being, we have a natural need to eat at least 3 times a day. Sometimes we eat more than 3 times. In Nigeria today, one of the biggest problems we have is food. There's not enough food to sustain the population in Nigeria. So that's why I decided that agriculture is the next venture that I'm going to go into as a businessman. I intend to go into mixed integrated farm. A mixed farm is a farm that you have different types of animal in the same location, and an integrated farm is a farm where you use different products from each animal to, provide value to the entire farm. So it's gonna be like an ecosystem where all the animals give out or use something from each animal to benefit the whole system. Here we're going to have a fishery, we're going to have a poultry, we're going to set up a piggery, we're also going to set up a goat ranch, we're also going to set up a cattle ranch, and we also have other things like a snailery and a rabbit farm, as well as a beehive where you can make honey as well. So those are just some of the animals that we're going to raise on this land. So from fish, you get the fish, the meat from the fish, of course. That's the main product. Then besides the meat, we are also very much interested in the wastewater that comes out of the fish, because we're going to capture that wastewater and use it to grow our vegetables on this same land. That's the process called aquaponics, where you use fish water to grow vegetables. And we're also going to use the waste matter from fish. So we are going to process fish here. We're not just going to sell live fish, but we'll also kill and process our fish here. And in the process of doing that, there's going to be some waste material that comes out of that. So that waste material is something that we'll reprocess and use as fish meal that we're going to reintroduce into other animal feed that we're going to have here on the farm. So for the goats, primarily the goats will be raised for their meat, and secondarily we're also going to raise goats for their milk. A lot of research has gone into goat's milk, and it's been proven that goat's milk pretty much provides very essential nutrients for babies and is better than using cow milk to raise your baby. So we're going to produce a lot of goat milk, and we're also going to use some of the goat milk produced here to make some goat milk soap. So for the cattle, we are primarily going to focus on the energy that we're going to generate using the cow dung.
Okay, so what's the cow dung?
The cow dung is the poop of the cow. So when a cow eats, it defecates, and then when you collect the dung contains a special formula in it that when it's enclosed in a container, it gives off a certain kind of gas called methane gas. So the reason why we want to have a lot of cattle here is because we want to collect a lot of cattle dung, and when we put it into a biodigester, which is the container that processes or breaks down the cattle dung, when that methane gas is released, we can capture that gas, which is biogas. When it comes to things like incubators, or warming up like day-old chicken, or even providing heat to dry or smoke fish, or the generator itself to power the plant. So all those things can be done using biogas, which can be achieved from the cow dung. So that's the primary reason why we want to have cattle on this farm. Now, don't get me wrong, there are other animals that their waste material can also be used for biogas, including pigs, even human beings like us. So after the farm is developed, we're going to have all the waste product from the farm, including our toilets, will be channeled into a biodigester. So the reason why the cattle dung is more important is because the content of the bacteria in cattle dung is the highest in quantity compared to humans and compared to pigs. So it's like the main reactant factor in the biodigester that can help the rest of the waste material to produce methane gas. So for the snail, we primarily will raise the snail for the meat, which is what most Nigerians use snails for. We buy snail meat, we use it to cook, but we will also harvest the shell. The shell of snails will also be processed. When you wash the shell and you grind it, that shell contains calcium, which goes into animal feed, especially chicken, poultry feed, and also snail feed. So when your layers lay egg, they need calcium for their eggs to be strong. So poultry feed has a lot of need for or demand for calcium. So we use the shell from snail for that purposes. And we'll also use slime. The slime from snail is also another product from a snail that most people are not aware about. But we're going to bring in a machine here that basically will capture the slime, which goes for a lot of value overseas. And that product is used to manufacture cosmetics for women, especially anti-aging cosmetics. So most women, they love to stay young and be young, and there's a particular chemical that goes into anti-aging cosmetics. It's called hyaluronic acid, and that acid can be found in snail slime.
Okay, so thanks for the explanation. So sir,
pigs, we're gonna raise pigs primarily for the meat, pork meat. And in pork meat, you basically have the pigs that marketers will come to the farm to buy. We don't really intend to sell our pigs like that, because most farmers that sell their pigs to marketers, they undersell it, for the value of the pig. So we intend to process our pigs here. We're going to have a pig abattoir. For the sake of not using the right word, abattoir is just like a slaughterhouse, but we're going to have an in-house pig processing plant where we'll kill the pig and cut it up into different parts, so that when we sell the pig, we're not selling it to just marketers, but we can sell it directly to supermarkets and grocery stores, primarily for the meat. The pig also will contribute to the energy from their waste material as well. So the farm already has a name, and the name is Clara Farms Nigeria Limited. I chose Clara because that is the name of my mother. Basically, my mother, she played a very important role in my life, and God bless her soul, she died when I was 10 years old. And even though this farm was my father's vision, my father had a vision to start a farm just like this, but he wasn't able to achieve it before he died. So I decided I was going to fulfill that vision, but I wanted to name the farm after my mother.
oh, that's good. So sorry about your loss. So sorry for the loss.
Thank you. So we have different phases of the farm, and each phase is going to start at a different time. But the very first phase we are starting with, we intend to get started sometime in September of this year. The very first phase of the farm, we're going to start with a palm kernel processing industry. We're actually right now, as we're talking to you, setting up a palm kernel factory that's going to process palm kernel nuts to produce palm kernel oil, known as PKO, palm kernel cake, known as PKC, palm kernel shell, known as PKS, and palm kernel sludge as well. So that's the first phase of the farm. We're starting with that because we're going to use those materials for the farm. So the PKC is going to go into our feed, the feed that we're going to use to feed most of our animals here. And the rest of the byproducts, like the palm kernel oil, we're gonna sell that, as well as the palm kernel shell and the charcoal briquettes made from the palm kernel shell as well. We are going to need to hire a lot of people on the farm. So in case you are watching this video and you want to contribute, we are going to need a lot of help when it comes to animal scientists, animal nutritionists. We're going to need agricultural science experts. A lot of graduates coming out of Nigerian schools, they don't have a job, so we're going to need people who are experts in each field. So if your field is agriculture, we will have a position for you. If you have a field in animal science or animal nutrition or things like that, we will have a job for you.
He has a very great plans for the youth. For you to get updated, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share, comment and like to get more videos and notifications. Thank you.